Welcome back to the deep dive, everyone. This is Digital Mind, and if you're listening, you probably know that feeling, right? That little buzz in your pocket, the constant pull.
Yeah, that distraction orbiting your phone.
Exactly. And feeling overwhelmed by it. Hey, that's totally normal. It's not like a personal failing. We're swimming in this dopamine-rich world.
Right, it's designed to keep us hooked, and that's what our sources really hammer home. We're kind of built for scarcity, but, well, look around, it's abundance everywhere. Especially digital abundance.
Overwhelming is the word.
Totally. But the good news, and this is key, is that you can take back control. You can heal your relationship with tech. It's doable.
And that's our mission for this deep dive. We've dug into a bunch of research reports, the works, looking at how this modern compulsion thing really works, especially social media addiction.
Yeah, where it comes from the brain, the dopamine connection.
And most importantly, what you can actually do about it. Practical stuff to build up that resilience.
And it's super timely, too. Because you zoom out, the big picture data, it's pretty concerning.
Concerning how?
There's been this huge, global dip in mental health, starting around the early 2010s. Way bigger than the COVID impact, actually. And it hit young people hardest.
That timing, early 2010s, you said, like around 2013.
Yeah, that's when things really shifted. You
Yeah.
see this explosion of certain platforms becoming just part of life.
And the sources link that directly.
They do. Especially for girls who became, and this is a quote, extraordinarily anxious and depressed around them. So to get why, we got to look inside the brain.
Okay, let's do it. The dopamine machine.
Exactly. Dopamine. That's like the universal currency scientists use to figure out how addictive something is.
The more dopamine, the more addictive.
Pretty much. How fast and how much dopamine gets released in the brain's reward pathway. That's the measure.
Gotcha. And it's not just about feeling good, right? It's motivation, too.
Right. It's the wanting chemical. But here's where it gets really interesting. The whole pleasure pain thing.
The balance beam.
Yeah, you can literally picture it like a scale in your brain.
Okay.
It wants to stay leveled, it's homeostasis.
Yeah.
So when something tips it towards pleasure, like notification, whatever.
The brain freaks out a little.
Kinda.
Yeah.
It sees that imbalance as a problem.
Right.
So automatically these self-regulating things kick in. I like to call them little gremlins.
Gremlins. Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah, picture these little gremlins hopping on the pain side of the scale to bring it back to level. It's an automatic counter response.
Okay, so one little dopamine hit, the gremlins balance it out. But what about scrolling for an hour? Repeated hits.
That's the problem. That's tolerance. It's called neuroadaptation.
Yeah.
Keep hitting the pleasure side over and over.
Yeah.
And the pleasure response itself gets weaker, shorter, but the pain after response, that gets stronger, longer. The gremlins get bigger, faster, more of them show up.
Oh, wow. So you need more and more just to feel, okay, not even pleasure, just baseline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That chase, needing more for less effect, that's addiction, textbook.
And with social media, this isn't an accident, is it?
Oh, absolutely not. It's addictive by design, no cap. The randomness of the rewards that pops up later, the unexpected follow, that super powerful conditioning.
Like a slot machine.
Precisely. It hijacks that reward system and just makes you want to go back, keep scrolling, keep posting, even if it feels kind of bad afterwards.
And there's data on this, right? Like people actually change their behavior.
For sure. Studies show behavior on platforms like Instagram totally follows reward learning principles. People actually time their posts to get the best social payoff.
They space them out.
Yeah, and if they think they're going to get a bigger reward, more likes, whatever they post sooner, one study found a higher expected reward cut the time between posts by 18%. That's hours.
Wow. So our anticipation is being manipulated.
Basically, yeah. Algorithmically optimized anticipation.
Okay, that's the brain side. What about the outside stuff? Like seeing everyone else's perfect life, FOMO.
Right, the toxic mirror, fear of missing out, FOMO.
Which isn't totally new, right? Like keeping up with the Joneses.
Exactly. That pressure's been around thanks to media, forever.
Yeah.
Reality TV, magazines.
But social media kicks it up a notch.
Big time. Because it's not some distant celebrity anymore. It's your friends, your classmates, people you actually know. People right there in your feed.
And comparing yourself to someone similar, that hits harder.
Way harder. Comparison theory says it feels more relevant, more like a direct threat to your own, status or self-worth.
Yeah.
It goes from, nice vacation, to, why isn't my life like that? Real anxiety.
And is it that people who already have FOMO use social media more, or does using it create more FOMO?
Good question. Researchers kind of debate that. Does high FOMO drive usage, or does the constant visibility on the platforms drive FOMO?
Chicken or egg?
pretty much.
Yeah.
It's likely a feedback loop, right? A cycle that just keeps escalating.
And it leads to that feeling, the
Yeah.
highlight reel thing.
Yes. We're stuck comparing our messy, everyday reality, the behind the scenes, with everyone else's polished, filtered, best moments only reel.
That sounds...
It fundamentally messes with self-worth. Think about taking down a photo because it didn't get enough likes. You're literally letting likes define your value.
outsourcing self-esteem. Yikes.
Exactly. And this whole comparison feedback-seeking thing, it has real negative consequences, especially for teenagers.
What kind of consequences?
Studies show kids, like grades 7 to 12, spending over 2 hours a day on socials. They report way higher rates of depression, anxiety, even suicidal thoughts.
That's heavy. Is there a difference between boys and girls?
Yeah, and it's pretty stark. Girls are way more likely to say they spend too much time on social media. Like 36% overall felt that way, but more girls reported it.
And the impact is different too.
It seems so. The research consistently shows that link between, tech-based social comparison and depressive symptoms. It's stronger for females.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot to take in. Let's shift gears a bit. How do we fight back? Before we get into the solutions, though, if you're getting something out of this deep dive here on Digital Mind, maybe do us a solid.
Yeah. If this stuff is clicking for you, hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel, and it means you won't miss our next deep dive. Make learning a habit,
Totally. And hey, drop a like, leave a comment. What are your thoughts on that whole highlight reel culture? We genuinely want to hear from you. Okay, so building resilience. Where do we start?
Well, first off, recognize that in this world of just constant temptation, willpower alone, it's usually not going to cut it.
Yeah, willpower runs out.
Exactly. It's finite. So we need strategies. We need to build in some friction. That's where self-binding comes in.
Self-binding. Okay, what's that? Like tying yourself up?
Kinda, metaphorically. It means intentionally creating barriers between you and the thing you overuse, your phone, junk food, whatever, making it harder to compulsively consume.
Okay, how? The sources mention different types.
Yeah, 3 main ways: physical, chronological, and categorical. Let's start with physical.
Making it physically harder to access.
You got it. Create space. Delete the apps that suck you in.
Right.
Get one of those timer lock boxes, a case-safe for your phone or snacks. Think of Odysseus, right? Tie himself to the mast so he could hear the sirens but couldn't steer the ship onto the rocks.
Creating literal distance. Okay.
Yeah.
What about chronological, time-based stuff?
Yep. And this often means taking a real break. Abstinence. The research is pretty clear. You generally need at least 4 weeks off from your drug of choice to reset your brain's reward pathways.
4 weeks minimum to get the gremlins off the scale.
Basically, yeah. To restore that balance, that homeostasis, it's powerful. There was this study with depressed men who stopped drinking alcohol.
Yeah. What happened?
After just 1 month sober, 80% of them no longer met the criteria for clinical depression. That break lets your brain start appreciating simple pleasures again. The neuroadaptation starts reversing.
Wow. Okay, so physical barriers, time barriers. What's the third one? Categorical. Wait, no, you mentioned hormesis. That sounds intense.
Right. Before categorical, let's talk hormesis. This one's kind of wild, super counterintuitive. It's about intentionally pressing on the pain side of the balance.
Wait, leaning into pain. Why would you do that?
Because of how the body responds. Hormesis is about beneficial stress. Small, manageable doses of something uncomfortable like intense exercise, deep focused work, even cold water exposure.
Like an ice bath. Ugh.
Exactly. It triggers a strong homeostatic response. Your body releases its own feel-good chemicals, endogenous opioids, stuff like that to counteract the stress. You get this delayed, but much more sustainable natural high.
So you suffer a bit up front.
Right, that initial shock, like jumping into cold water, your body's screaming.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But then comes this wave of calm, even joy. Someone in the studies described it as feeling exactly like a drug. You use controlled discomfort to nudge your overall balance back towards lasting pleasure.
Weird, but it makes a strange kind of sense. Okay, so we've got physical barriers, timeouts, leaning into good pain. You also mentioned categorical self-binding. What's that tied to?
That ties into the internal stuff. The external barriers and resets are crucial, but for real, long-term resilience, you need internal armor. This is where self-esteem and self-concept clarity come in.
Self-concept clarity, meaning?
Really knowing who you are, what your values are, your beliefs, your identity. Being clear on that stuff is like a shield against the constant pressure to compare and seek validation online.
So if you know yourself better, you're less likely to get sucked in.
That's what the studies suggest. High self-concept clarity plus high self-esteem. It could actually cancel out the effect of peer pressure when it comes to social media addiction. That inner certainty protects you.
Okay, internal armor. Makes sense. Is there more to it?
One final, really important piece: radical honesty.
Radical honesty, like just telling the truth all the time.
Yeah, but especially about ourselves. Being honest about our flaws, our struggles, our vulnerabilities. It sounds scary, but it builds deep self-awareness, and it actually helps build real intimacy with other people too, not the fake kind online.
How does being honest with yourself help with, like, scrolling less?
It shifts your whole outlook. It helps move you from what they call a scarcity mindset, always competing, comparing, feeling like there isn't enough, towards a plenty mindset, feeling like the world is generally okay, people are mostly reliable, you don't have to constantly fight for scraps. Being radically honest, even when it's uncomfortable, lifts that weight of anger, shame, and needing everyone else to approve of you.
Getting real with yourself frees you up.
Exactly. It's foundational for that categorical self-binding, deciding who you are and living that way, regardless of the digital noise.
Man, lots to think about there. Okay, we're getting close to the end, but hey, one more quick reminder. If this deep dive sparked an aha moment for you, seriously, hit subscribe if you haven't, and definitely give us a like and comment. Let us know what clicked.
Yeah, we love hearing from you. So quick recap, 5 big takeaways from the sources today. 1, chasing easy pleasure all the time. It leads straight to the pain of tolerance. The gremlins win.
2, recovery, actually enjoying things again. It starts with that break minimum 4 weeks abstinence to reset the brain's balance. Chronological binding.
3, willpower isn't enough. You need physical self-binding. Create friction. Make it harder to access the temptation.
4, that weird one, hormesis. Lean into good discomfort. Press the pain side deliberately to get your body to reward you with lasting, natural pleasure.
And 5, build that internal armor with categorical self-binding. Radical honesty fosters self-concept clarity, moving you from scarcity to a plenty mindset.
Got it. Okay, final thought to leave everyone with.
Yeah, here's something provocative to chew on. We often use these devices to kind of escape the world, right? To seek oblivion through endless scrolling.
Sure, numb out for a bit.
But what if true escape, true connection, comes not from escaping the world, but from consciously immersing yourself in it? Really paying attention to what's right here.
Like that patient you mentioned, the hiker.
Exactly. He didn't find relief by forgetting his hike. He found it by forcing himself to zoom in. To get lost looking at a tiny bug on a leaf, something totally real he'd been ignoring.
Focusing on the small details of reality.
Yeah, choosing to zoom in on the real world instead of zooming out into the digital void. You always have that choice.
Powerful stuff. Thank you for breaking all that down.
My pleasure.
And thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Hopefully this gives you some tools for navigating your own digital mind. We'll catch you next time.